One day I finally got frustrated and asked a simple question. When are you going to teach me about money? The answer surprised me. You think I haven't been? We've been playing Monopoly. At first that sounded ridiculous, but then it clicked. Monopoly isn't a board game. It's a simplified model of how money actually works. You don't win by working harder or saving pennies. You win by acquiring assets, developing them, and letting cash flow do the work for you. The objective is clear. Buy property, add houses, convert them into hotels, and collect rent. The more properties you control and the more you improve them, the more income flows to you. That same logic applies in real life. Real estate isn't about owning buildings, it's about controlling cash flow. That's the real lesson. Wealth isn't built by how much you earn. It's built by how well you convert income into assets that produce more income. That's financial intelligence. And real estate is one of the most powerful tools available for doing exactly that, even if you're starting with very little money, or none at all. Some people hate Monopoly. They never win. Not because the game is rigged, but because they don't understand how property works and they're terrified of debt. That fear keeps them stuck. But once you understand the rules, everything changes. Let's start with the foundation: assets and liabilities. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out. That's it. Simple. Not emotional, not philosophical. Your personal home may feel like an asset, but if it costs you money every month and produces no income, it functions as a liability. That doesn't mean it's bad, it just means you should understand what it actually is. Now compare that to a rental property. Imagine your home costs you $2,000 per month in mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, and maintenance. That money leaves your pocket every month. Now imagine a rental property where total monthly expenses are $2,500, but rent brings in $2,500. After expenses, you're left with $1,000 flowing into your pocket. Same housing, two very different outcomes. One drains you, one feeds you. That's the difference between consuming property and investing in property. Once you understand this distinction, the next concept becomes unavoidable. Debt. Most people hear the word debt and immediately think of stress, struggle, and mistakes. But not all debt is the same. There is bad debt, money borrowed to buy things that lose value and produce no income. And then there is good debt, money borrowed to acquire assets that pay for themselves and generate cash flow. Debt itself isn't the problem. How you use it is. Imagine finding a duplex priced at $200,000. You don't have the full amount, so you finance 80% of it. That borrowed money allows you to acquire the property. You rent out both units. After expenses, the property produces positive monthly cash flow. The rent covers the debt, pays the bills, and still leaves money left over. You didn't use debt to consume. You used debt to produce. That's good debt. Even tools like credit cards aren't automatically bad. They depend entirely on what you use them for. If borrowed money produces income, it works for you. If it funds consumption, it works against you. This leads us to the next critical layer of real estate investing: understanding how properties are evaluated. Two concepts matter more than almost anything else: net operating income, NOI, and capitalization rate, cap rate. Net operating income is the income a property produces after operating expenses. It tells you how profitable the property actually is. Banks care deeply about NOI because it determines how much debt the property can support. Cap rate connects income to value. It tells you how much return a property generates relative to its price. It's calculated by dividing NOI by the property's value. Higher NOI means stronger cash flow. Cap rate helps you compare opportunities. These aren't abstract formulas. They are the language of lenders and investors. If you don't speak this language, you'll never control the game. Now, we reach the concept most people are waiting for: how real estate can generate returns without continuously using your own money. This is where leverage comes in. Leverage in real estate means using borrowed money to acquire assets, improve them, and increase their income. When done correctly, leverage allows you to recycle capital instead of exhausting it. Here's the simplified process. First, you acquire a property using financing. Second, you improve the property: renovations, upgrades, better management. Third, those improvements increase rental income and NOI. Fourth, higher NOI increases the property's value. Fifth, you refinance based on the new value. Sixth, you recover your initial capital while keeping the asset. At that point, the property still produces cash flow, but your original money is no longer tied up. The returns continue even though your capital has been pulled out and redeployed elsewhere. That's what people mean when they talk about infinite returns. Not magic, not gimmicks, just understanding leverage, income, and valuation. Real estate also offers tax advantages. Interest payments, expenses, and depreciation reduce taxable income. Debt repayment itself isn't taxed. The system rewards ownership, not labor. This doesn't mean real estate is risk-free. Leverage magnifies mistakes as much as success. It requires discipline, analysis, and patience. But dismissing real estate as slow or outdated misses the point entirely. It's not about speed, it's about durability, cash flow, control, optionality. Real estate doesn't make you rich overnight, it makes you unbreakable over time. Once you understand that, the game stops looking intimidating. It starts looking logical. And just like Monopoly, once you understand how the board actually works, winning stops being random. It becomes inevitable.